Hello students, I'm Anuradha Kadam and today we are going to see 6th Science 4th chapter Sorting Materials into Group. So in this chapter we are going to see how the different materials are separated according to their different properties. The things which we all use in our daily life are made of different types of materials. All these materials have mass, shape, and are classified on the basis of many criteria including their physical state as well as the properties of materials. So as we have seen in our daily life, we are using different materials, and if we want to classify, means if we want to separate out, so we are thinking on some properties of the material. So one by one we will see. So first we will see properties of materials. So based on the different properties, materials can be differentiated into their respective groups. So just we will see the properties one by one. So see first. At first, the material can be stored into their group based on the three states of matter: solids, liquids and gases. Means whenever we want to group, so first what we will think, we will keep solid things aside, liquid thing aside and gaseous things aside. Means we are able to separate out these materials according to their states. Correct? Solids, liquids and gases. Second, the second criteria used to sort the materials are based on their appearance. The appearance of material varies in color, texture, hard, soft and lusters. So see, appearance means how they look. Color is different, texture is different, they may be hard, they may be soft or they may be lustrous. So this is the second criteria to sort the material. Third criteria is used to sort the material are based on their solubility. The solubility depends on the soluble and insoluble of material in the water. So for example, salt and sugar are soluble in water, chalk and sand are insoluble in water. So according to their their solubility, we are able to separate the substances. Now the fourth criteria used to sort the material is based on the metal and non-metals. So if we want to separate the materials, so then we can separate out according to their properties of metals and non-metals. Which metals are there? Yes, iron, copper, gold are examples of metals, and coal, chalk, rubber are examples of non-metals. And the fifth criteria used to sort the materials is based on the light transmission through object, which includes opaque, translucent and transparent. Fifth criteria is used to sort the materials is based on the light transmission through objects, which include opaque, translucent and transparent. So just we will see the introduction. So classification of material is based on the several properties, which include transparency, hardness, soluble and insoluble, float and sink. One more is there, that is appearance also. So first we will just see, so why there is need of this classification? Why there is this need of classification? Why we want to classify all those things? So see, classification makes everything easier or orderly for better understanding. For example, suppose I will give you a library. In library also you have seen the different kinds of books are kept differently. Means suppose science books are there, so there one cupboard is there, or suppose that separate shelf is there for the science book. In another book maybe there kept another, suppose literature's book, and suppose the languages book. In this way means all the books are separated, so it will be easy whenever you want to take the book. So what happen, you are going and you are going to that particular place. Means if I told that bring the science book from the library, so what you will do, you will just go in library and go towards the shelf which contains the scientific books. Okay, so this is the better way or ordered way for better understanding. Otherwise from the huge library is there and so many books, thousands of books are there, so we are not able to get that particular book in time. So this is the need actually for this classification. So how materials classified? Yes, this is also important, that how these materials are classified. So materials are classified on similarities in their properties such as appearance, transparency, solubility and density. Solubility or density. So first we will discuss about the appearance. So appearance, yes, polishing, metal polishing act as a protective shield to metal surface because it stops oxidation. It is a method of improving the durability and texture of metal surface as they are much less likely to wear or corrode. If you see the classification which is based on the appearance, so they are lustrous and non-lustrous. Lustrous means what? They are shiny, okay, as gold, silver, they are shiny. Non-lustrous means wood, leather, they are non-shiny. So just see, materials can be differentiated from each other based on their look. Some like diamond and gold are shiny and is termed as lustrous material. Some other materials like graphite and wood, they do not appear shiny and are generally known as non-lustrous material. The next property is hardness. So hardness or toughness, this is the property of material to withstand the stress without breaking, is termed as toughness. A material with high strength and high ductility will have more toughness than a material with low strength and high ductility. So just see, keep in mind that hardness is one of the important property. You are aware which things are hard, which are not. Okay, so how we could classify based on the hardness? So yes, hardness we are going to classify into the hard and soft. So the materials that can be compressed or deformed easily are referred to as soft material. Whereas materials that are difficult to bend or compress are termed as hard material. So now another property we will see, that is solubility. So classification if we consider, so some substances completely disappear or dissolve in the water. These substances are called, they are soluble in water. For example, sugar, if you add the sugar in the water and if you stir it, so what happens? Sugar disappear. We are not able to identify the particles of sugar. This is means they are completely dissolved in the water. So we can say sugar is soluble in water. whereas other substances do not mix with the water and do not disappear when after we stir for a long time. These substances are insoluble in water. Means for example, suppose you put stone in the or sand in the water, and if you are stirring it for a long time, what happened? Yes, the sand particles remain as it is in a water because sand is insoluble in water. You can took example of chalk powder also. If you are putting the chalk powder and if you are stirring for a long time, again you can see they are not get mixed in the water, they not dissolve in the water, they are as it is in the water because the chalk powder is insoluble in water. Now see density, or we can say flotation. So buoyancy means what? Actually buoyancy is the upward force applied by the fluid on the object or the body when an object is put or submerged in the fluid is termed as buoyancy. Just you may aware all those things. So we are discussing these things. Buoyancy means what? The upward force. See, whenever you are putting anything in the water, it floats. It floats means what? The water is applying, each and everything is applying force on each other, correct? So as you are aware, gravitational force is there. Gravitational force is attracting everything towards the gravity, means towards the earth, correct? So like this, water is also applying the force, that fluid is also applying the force on the substances or the object which you are putting or submerging in the water. So what happened when this force is more, means upward force is more, then we are saying they are floating on the water. And suppose you are putting stone, so whatever force applied by the stone is more, so they will sink down. In simple word, whose density means weight like, okay, so whose density is more, they get settled down, and whose density is more, they will whose density is more, they will settle down, and whose density will less, they will just float on the water. Now if you consider the classification based on the buoyancy, so materials can be classified based on sinking or floating in water. So leaf float on water, a metal spoon will sink in water. So as I told that density. So density is defined as mass per volume. Okay, mass means what? Yes, like the weight. What is the weight? And volume, as you are aware. So mass per volume is density. So you can think of it as the amount of particulars of substance, means particles of the substances are packed into the certain amount of space. If the particles are packed tightly together, the density would be greater than if they loosely packed when a lot of empty space around them. So this is taken as a mass per unit volume of the given object. The SI unit is kg per meter square, cube. Density is the reason some objects sink and other objects float. As I told, whose density is more means whose mass per volume is more, they will settle down, they will sink down. The remaining objects starts to float. The next is transparency. So whenever we are considering the transparency, the material can be grouped into the three main categories based on their ability to transmit the light. So classification based on the transparency is transparent, opaque and translucent. So just see an object which allow visible light to pass through it is called transparent object like a glass fish tank. Object which allow partial passage to light is called translucent object like plastic bottle, paper cup, etc. And third one, an object which does not allow a passage to light is called an opaque object. So we cannot see through the opaque object. Suppose wood or metal, we are able to see the wood. Means we are able to see from the wood. Means for example, suppose a door is there, okay, wooden door is there, and anyone suppose bail the door, okay. So what happened? Are you able to find out that who is there outside? Yes. No, we are not. How could we know? Because we are not able to see through the door, because the door is called as opaque object. Yes. And suppose from the window which is made with the glass, are you able to see? Yes, you are able to see out of the window, because glass is transparent. Some kinds of glasses are there, only we are able to identify, yes, someone is there, but who exactly we are not able. So such objects or such a glass is known as a translucent. In this way we have seen the this chapter. So just we will take a rapid look. So in this chapter we have seen the properties of material. Which properties are there? Yes, appearance, hardness, soluble and insoluble, and in transparency. Three parts we have seen actually. Means transparency means by which we are able to see, but two another are there, that is opaque and translucent. So in this way these properties are there which we have seen in this chapter. Appearance means what? The materials that have luster are usually metals. For example, iron, copper, aluminium, gold are examples of metal. Appearance means we have seen they are lustrous or not. Or the materials like the paper, cardboard, wood, they do not have luster. So in this way, according to appearance, we are able to separate, or we are able to sort the material into two groups, that is lustrous and non-lustrous. Then we have seen the hardness. In that we have seen hard and soft. Correct? So the materials which can be compressed or stretched easily are called soft. And second, materials which are difficult to compress are called hard. Okay. So see here example if we consider. So examples of the hardness is iron, and softness we can say the cotton or sponge. Now solubility, in that we have seen soluble and insoluble. Means according to solubility, if we want to separate, if you want to sort the material, so we can make the group of the soluble and insoluble. Soluble means what? Some substances have completely disappeared or dissolved in water. Such substances are called soluble substances. And some are insoluble, means other substances do not mix with water and do not disappear even after we stir for a long time. These substances are insoluble in water. Then we have seen transparency. In transparency we have seen the transparent, opaque and translucent. So transparent means what? Those substances or materials through which things can be seen are called transparent. For example, glass, water, air, and some kind of plastics also. Means you are aware that from some plastic we are able to see. Which suppose to your books, the outer cover is wrapped with the thin coated, means it is thin plastic coated. Although we are able to see the content what written on the first page because it was transparent. So plastics also. The second one is opaque. There are some materials through which we are not able to see. These materials are called opaque objects. For example, wood, cardboard and metals. And the third one, translucent. The materials through which objects can be seen but not clearly are known as translucents. So example, oil patch on the paper. Suppose on one paper if oil is fallen, okay, and if you want to try, means if you consider the first the paper, so it is opaque, we are not able to see anything, correct? But if the oil is get sprayed, so what happened? We are able to see something, some light we are able to see, some shadows we are able to see, but exactly we are not identified that that shadow is made up of which thing, correct? So in this way, according to transparency also,